Yoko and Pesky Dimensionally. Yoko and Pesky Dimensionally. Yoko and Pesky Dimensionally.
Welcome, everybody, to this very special episode of Yoko and Frisky's Dimensional Rift. We have our brother from another mother, MC Metrocard Frisky, and our guest, Pesky.
Woohoo! Yeah. You gonna say anything?
No, I wasn't going to.
Pesky here is a connoisseur of music, a champion of lyrics, a weaver of wonderful, whimsical whistles.
Mm-hmm.
That's what all
That's
the
me.
girls say to him.
Yeah. And
It's true.
And he produced the intro that you just heard.
That's right.
Good shit.
My reputation goes far and wide.
Anywho, it's summertime, and you know what that means. We're listening to music. We're gonna talk about video game music today. But first, I got some things to share with my buddies over here. Are you guys ready to react to some stuff?
No?
Cool. All right, I'm gonna put in talking stuff, John, so you can follow along.
Okay.
Hit that music.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right.
Oh,
Check the links in the comments. No, in the comments. Description below if you want to see what we're talking about. Let's go. Boom. It's summertime and you gotta stay cool, right? Well, this guy has invented a little invention to help him out.
I stopped asking questions a while ago. What the? Oh, is that ice cream dripping down his face? That must be an art piece. It has to be like an art performance piece.
I think it's a Banksy.
It could be, because Banksy had a what did he have recently? He did a art piece, like Dismisdyland or something.
They really had to pick red. Like, they had to use red as a flavor so that it looks like he's fucking bleeding. And, like, I just think that's a choice. That's definitely, like, an intentional choice.
Also, like, what kind of ice cream is it? Is it like cherry ice cream?
Looks like sorbet, you know what I'm saying?
Sorbet? He didn't even pick good flavors. Like, if you pick, sorry, dude, if it's not vanilla or chocolate, I'm judging you just a little bit.
It's probably, I hope it's gluten-free. That's all I know. All right, next up, we got, to continue with the theme of cakes we've had over the past few episodes, we got this lovely entry.
Oh, yeah, the Shrek pot cake. I feel like I've seen this before.
Maybe. It looks like a giant Reese's cup.
But what is
Oh.
the inside of the cake? Because if it's too much chocolate, that's just impractical.
Not for a woman. We love chocolate.
I don't know. I feel like there's a limit for everyone.
Especially during that
Even
time
if you
of the
don't
month.
realize it.
Unless you're a chocolate chaser.
There's no limit to the amount of Shrek, but I think the amount of chocolate is definitely up for question.
Someone in the comments like,
No, absolutely not. I'm a Shrekian, and I prefer chocolate.
and you're like, shut up.
Go home.
Bold
Roger.
and brash. This person has taste.
That's right. Anywho, Barbie Mania is taking over the internet. People are doing memes, and the promo team is doing their work. They have a Barbie Dreamhouse Airbnb. This is a sight to behold. What do you think, guys?
I need Barbie. Oh my god, that looks just like a playset. Can you stop?
It's beautiful.
Oh wait, this is an Airbnb? Because
Yeah.
it doesn't look real.
No, it's an Airbnb. Legit.
It looks so fake. Because like, it looks like a photoshopped Barbie house, but that like it's on point. Like my cousin had the Barbie playsets, and I distinctly remember the pool, the dance party. Ken really didn't get much, but now he has a Ken cave.
Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about Barbie versus Oppenheimer, And I just tell my friends, if I want to see a movie about a bomb in theaters, I just go watch The Flash.
My friend.
That fucking fade in, fade out on the dam was stylish. That was good. I liked it.
I was gonna do that, but like.
Anywho,
I think the fact that they're even being compared is really fucking funny. How like, no matter what, we can't get away from like guy versus girl discussions, right? Like, the moment Barbie anything is mentioned and any other movie around it is coming out, it's like, well, all the girls are gonna see Barbie, but I'm gonna go see Oppenheimer. And it's like, they're not even comparable movies, like not even a little bit the same. And it's like, where I've heard some of my friends be like, nah, that's gonna suck, I'm gonna watch Oppenheimer. It's just like, you haven't seen either movie yet. You don't know which one's gonna be good. You literally don't know if Oppenheimer's gonna be trash or if Barbie's gonna be good. And I feel like that's a weird state that we're in when it comes to popular culture.
Well, I think we've reached a point now where, like, I talk about a lot of like guys versus girl things and, you know, certain controversies, but I think we're at a point where even if people say they're not going to like a girly thing, what they consider girly, they're still gonna like slightly like it. Like, okay, or change it to be more manly. They say that Red Dead Redemption is the best Barbie horse game for boys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that.
Yeah.
Right. Have you guys been seeing these Grimace memes that have been going around? It feels like his birthday has been like 2 years already.
I know. I feel so bad. Okay, wait. Let me see what you're gonna show me first. Oh no.
This TikTok looks like it was directed by Jordan Peele.
Oh my god. This is a minute long.
Yeah, it's a spooky one.
You know what? Oh my gosh.
Very cool. But
oh god, this is horrifying.
I love this.
Yo, why is he in the pool? Yo, the way he's floating in the pool. The grimace hands. This is some Five Nights at Freddy's stuff.
Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's coming this October.
So when's the movie coming out?
Halloween.
Halloween.
Yo, wait. Why is the grimace hand? Yeah, it is.
I thought I was talking about the grimace thing, but like, okay.
Oh, my bad. Let's just say it's the same.
Yeah.
So there's a comic that has Grimace really sad saying, why is everybody hurting on my birthday? He just looks devastated and like heartbroken. It makes me so sad. It makes me so sad for Grimace.
It's okay, because I got Grimace a great birthday present. These pair of Cyclops kicks.
Those real?
Yeah.
That's cute. I'm gonna send it to my friend. Oh wait, no, it's alright. Look, we gotta, like, what is it? One of our friends on here really likes this. Yo, at Darrell.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the Air Force Ones?
This is the only thing that Cyclops has produced that's ever been cool. But I think John will appreciate this. Check out this crazy ass freaking combo from the Spider-Man game, because it gets me hyped for Spider-Man 2.
The game looks legit. It better not be broken because... Oh my gosh, what is this combo?
This combo is like Marvel vs. Capcom status.
This combo is like the Supreme Court justice should be taken out. Like...
It's beautiful.
Can you imagine staying in mid-air and not knowing that you're getting beat down so badly? And you just wake up in heaven?
Yeah, that's how I feel every day.
The poor man. And all he did was try to shoplift some bread.
Dang. Yo, just the bread. It was just bread.
Literally just some bread.
That's what Aunt May does to Peter when he comes home and forgets the eggs.
It'd be funny, like, was he Jamaican? Did he get a Jamaican beatdown?
Anywho, I hope you haven't seen this yet, Yoko, because I was saving this for you. You gotta check this out. It's from my Adventures with Superman
Oh, I was gonna watch this the other day, but let's see what we got. Clark's transformation into super. Is he a magical girl? Yes. Now I have to watch it. No, legit. Look at that.
Yeah, it's a Sailor Moon transformation. Yeah.
Ah, he's got a rock hard ass.
Costume was summoned.
So cool.
Look at his butt.
Respectfully, of course.
Respectfully. No, not me. I'm
Full on disrespect.
full on disrespect.
Yeah.
They had like a full panel of Harley Quinn describing Nightwing's behind in grotesque detail, and everyone's like, "Come on, Harley, stop sexualizing him." She's like, "What?"
Oh, that just sounds like my therapy sections, honestly.
Yo, you said sex shins. I see what you did there.
So I read a news article and says that we're gonna get a flying car by 2025. Like, this is no BS. And how much are they going for? Let's see. Forgot. It was like 150 grand. Could be wrong. But yeah, what do you think? People can't even drive on the roads properly. You think they're gonna drive in the air properly? No.
I mean, did Elon Muskie Husky make this?
I don't think so. Yeah, $300,000.
Oh my gosh, this looks like the Simpsons car! Oh my gosh! Wait, Homer Simpson future car. Dude, I'm gonna post this. Oh my god, okay, it's very close. It is very close to Homer's future car.
It's, yeah, Jetson style, baby.
Right?
Alright. I'm sure you guys have seen this from Las Vegas. They have a brand new sphere, and it's really crazy. The stuff that they could put on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So just put on it?
Yeah, like
That
it's on
hurts
an
my eyes.
eyeball.
It's a giant visualizer, basically.
Yo.
So cool.
I like the fish.
There's a pumpkin, got the earth. Somebody's like, oh, they're gonna hack it and put like porn on it, and then they're gonna like cancel the dome forever.
Get on that.
Right. Last but not least, we just had the 4th of July, and people are saying that we should cancel fireworks because, you know, it drives our pets crazy. You know, they have a good point, but if we do, this would be a really cool alternative because look what you can do with drones these days.
Oh, you mean the?
Yeah, I've seen
yo.
some good drone displays at like festivals and stuff that are really impressive.
Yeah, Asia had a whole, when they lifted quarantine in Korea, they had like a whole guy take off his mask or something. This is pretty funny. But this Chinese dragon is hitting it. It's hitting it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is cool.
It's beautiful. And that's all for this week's Yoko Reacts. Me and John recently played Resident Evil 4 Remake. We hunkered down
Yes.
for the weekend. And
Yes.
we beat it.
And for the first time have I ever beaten that game because
Really?
I fucking hated that game when I was younger. Yeah. I really disliked the departure from the old style of Resident Evil games. I was one of those people where I was like, where the fuck? Why are these controls like so weird? And why isn't it a horror game anymore? Why does it feel more like an action game? I feel like this one actually was a little bit scarier as a remake than the original was, which I enjoyed. Although, you know, the whole, like, every boss fight is very much like an action game boss fight kind of thing. And every enemy encounter is very, like, you know, fast-paced rather than, like, oh, I need to, like, think about this and conserve my ammo kind of situations. I did try to do that as many times as I could, but especially towards the later half of the game, it's like, you have to, like, fight. You have to fight your way through everything.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, what are your thoughts on the game? You think it's worth playing, worth buying, worth watching someone else play it?
I think it was fun. I definitely think it's worth playing. I like the fact that you can move and shoot instead of just being rooted in position. And I like the fact that Mercenaries lets you play as Krauser and absolutely decimate everything in your way. That alone is like most of the fun in the game.
For sure. I only played the original one time. I thought it was a great time. And the remake just basically has a lot of quality of life improvements overall. I feel like Ashley isn't as annoying as she was in the first one. At least like the escort missions. You know, basically if she gets hit twice, it's over. But there's only like a few certain areas or rough spots where it just seems like impossible to like, keep her safe, like mostly at the castle. But overall, the experience was like, it was a great thrill ride. It felt like an amusement park attraction. It has a good length. I wish RE3 had the same type of treatment this one had.
I'm really disappointed in RE3 because of that. Like, I still appreciate 4, but RE3 was just, what was it, a 2-hour-long demo? I call them demos now because you can't tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, it was very short. It was like 4 or 5 hours long. Me and him beat it in like a night.
Yeah, it was pretty pathetic.
This one, they knew they couldn't cut corners. They had, like, this is Capcom's baby. This is their cash cow. This is their GTA 5. They knew they had to get this right. And for the most part, they did. They knocked it out of the park. Waiting on that Ada DLC. I can see why people didn't like her voice, but they did not have to bully her off the internet. Like, come on, guys, get a life.
Yeah, people are a mess. Like, I'm gonna do it again, but like a lot more women get harassed off the internet than any other demographic. So, like, it does. And there's a lot of women also who pretend to be men, and it's very easy to just do that. It's safer. It's sad to say. I'm sad about that. Okay.
Yeah, I thought the game was fun. I knew I liked it when I started planning my second playthrough in my head. You know, all the guns feel crunchy. The only weapon that sucks is like the crossbow. The crossbow sucked balls.
Yeah, that was a waste of money.
Now, why would you bring a crossbow to like altered alien monster fight? Like, why?
I don't know.
You would think it would go through their head and kill them, but it doesn't really work like that in Resident Evil 4. So it's actually just a useless fucking device.
No.
Right?
It's completely useless as a gun.
I am going to agree. I mean, I would probably use a crossbow to maybe get me across some things, you know?
Yeah. This is not Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We ain't hunting down vampires. I also thought that the side quests were pretty weak. They just basically amount to shoot the things or kill this tough enemy. Like, they could have been fleshed out a little more, but overall, I think the game is a solid 9 out of 10.
I really liked the side quest that had you kill something. I think that's something they should expand on if they're going to screw around like this and have more open world environments. Because there's plenty of opportunity. Like, if they had done something like that in remake, for example, that would have been great. Because then you could go on weird side quests and explore different parts of Raccoon City optionally. Like, I don't know, like the hospital, the clock tower, like, you know, those were obviously main sections of the previous one. But you could, like, expand on that. Like in RE2, they had the orphanage. And, like, that was, like, a whole new part of Raccoon City that none of the games had explored before. I think, like, that would be cool to have a side quest that maybe takes you to, like, I don't know, like the subway portion of Raccoon City, and then you have to fight some tough monster down there.
Why would you ever think of that? That would only just make sense.
That's like fun kind of things that they can do to expand a game, and then they can make it optional so you don't really have to go do it. Like, we definitely didn't do all of the side quests in RE4 Remake, and I like that they gave you an option to do them. But yeah, some of the fetch quest ones were just boring.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Well, I didn't feel like going around killing rats. I didn't feel like wasting a half hour of my time looking for a rat in a giant maze or a crow's nest. Sorry,
Yeah.
Capcom. Got shit to do. Make a side quest where I'm getting like shampoo for Leon's fluffy hair, or I'm like giving him a dye job or something.
Oh, that's what the mods are for. I would like to bring up something.
Yes.
So, this past week, a movie that was going to be greenlit by Disney, but was canceled by Disney because it was considered too gay. Nimona. It's actually kicking ass on Netflix. It is about a shapeshifter helping out a knight who named Ballister, who is gay. And it talks about social commentary and prejudices and giving people a chance and deceptions while not shoving it in your face. And the shapeshifting, like, Nimona is totally badass. Like, she just wants to kill people, but not really. Like, she's just an amazing character. It's wholesome at the same time, action oriented. I watched it with my mom, and she actually really liked it. And like, it wasn't really that gay. It was more like, okay, the two dudes hugged each other and they had a kiss somewhere in the middle. But like, it was about Nimona and Ballister trying to clear his name. Ballister the Knight gets framed for murder, and he was going to be knighted as someone not of royalty in this futuristic night setting, kind of like Overwatch. It kind of looked Overwatch-ish, but more colorful and fun. And it had like a lot of metal music and like action scenes where Nimona would change into a rhino and then into a whale and to fight off bad guys with Ballister. Well, not really bad guys, more like the politics in this world was knights would protect the city and everyone within it, but you had to be of a certain lineage. And the queen, previously, that was pretty much assassinated, was giving chances to people of not privilege and royalty. And one of the ladies in the background was like, no, I don't like that. So she kind of just was a bitch about it. So if I'm making any sense, I just want to recommend Nimona. It's great. It's an hour and 38 minutes. It just feels like a 95-minute movie. It's fun, and Disney missed out, and their movies are sucking right now. And if you want like crazy metal action, this is it. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. Disney's always canceling like really good shit. I mean, who actually went out and saw Elemental? You know what I'm saying? Who saw Indiana Jones? That flopped. Like, Disney's straight up taking L's, and this is why, because they don't greenlit out of the box cool animation stuff.
And that's the key. You said out of the box. They're playing safe, and so far, like, they're saying that the Little Mermaid's doing okay, but Elemental is like slowly gaining momentum, but they played it safe with that one too in terms of plot.
I think it's funny to hear them say that something is too gay when they are literally Disney and all of their movies are gay coded.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. And it, like,
Pretty funny.
And it's like, if you can't see it, a lot of the bad guys were modeled after like drag queens, or
it's like saying something's too gay for theater or something. Like, it's just like, do you know what you're talking about? What do you mean?
Have you seen a Broadway play? Oh, you're talking about Wicked? That's the gayest play of them all.
Watch the things you're talking about. But yeah, that's cool. Glad to hear it's succeeding on Netflix. I kind of sounds like a mutual beneficial situation for the movie and Netflix, because I know Netflix is kind of like struggling to keep subscribership, and I know some of their business decisions recently have been like hurting them even more. As far as that goes. So I bet they're really thankful that that's giving them a leg up.
Yeah. From what I heard from some of the animators that I follow, every company has cut on animation, even though animation is doing better, because they're experimenting more with animation, if you notice, with TV shows and with smaller movies.
Yeah, well, it's cheaper, and like, you don't have to, reserve like locations to make a scene in animation. You can just animate it.
Exactly. And now a lot of people are like, well, fuck these big companies. I'm going to go on YouTube. I'm going to go on Patreon. I'm going to go on Twitter. I'm going to go on Instagram. And they're making huge wins. And companies just want to play it safe. I don't know what's going on right now in terms of the why, but they're trying to make it so that cartoons are less meaningful now. and make them random and episodic versus let's just animate a comic strip. The materials are already here. We can make money on this brand. It's already safe. Let's go.
True that.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's it.
And now, our feature presentation.
Okay. So, today we're going to talk about the world of video game music because I feel like it's unappreciated. I saw a Twitter post asking who actually listens to video game music, and then a lot of people in the comments were just providing lots of examples of great tracks from video games ranging from the 80s, 90s, 2000s. So I thought it'd just be a great thing to talk about because video game music is the shit. That's why we brought on Pesky, because this guy's a musical connoisseur. So I'll let you take this. Start it off.
Sure. So I'll just jump right into my favorite conversation, which is how good the music in Final Fantasy is. Always been one of my inspirations as far as like musical taste. And Nobuo Uematsu, who's been responsible for like most of the Final Fantasy soundtracks, if not all, is a god and makes amazing music. And it's one of those conversations that can go on very long in and of itself because he has a lot of different examples of the kinds of songs he can make. Obviously, if you've like played through any of the games, you know like how much the soundtrack changes across areas. If you're in like, a town versus like a battle versus just like on the world map, you're getting 3 different types of songs, and they're always very like appropriate. They're always very good. And there's a certain kind of like style that I can't really understand about it. That like,
Feel. It's really more of a feeling.
yeah. There's just a certain kind of like, like that's a Final Fantasy song kind of like feeling to all of the soundtracks across the different games. There's a very unifying sense to it. And I see people recognizing that too when you see like other soundtracks out in the wild that aren't from Final Fantasy, but like either that he's worked on or like the soundtracks are clearly inspired by his work. People can like say like, oh yeah, like this is very Final Fantasy sounding. And like I find that really interesting. Like I wonder what it is, that unifying thread that like makes it sound so like stylistic, I guess. So like trademark.
Yeah. Okay, I got a question for you. Do you, out of the Final Fantasies, because I own quite a bit of the albums, including remade versions. What are one of your favorites?
What are my favorites? Soundtracks?
Yes.
Probably like I tend to pick and choose like songs from all of the soundtracks, but I'd say like probably most consistently what I like. I think 10 had some really fun takes and diversity that still hold up. And 10 also had the benefit of using a much higher grade sound engine than all of the PlayStation 1 and Nintendo Final Fantasies.
Yes.
I didn't play too much beyond that. And I know online a lot of my friends play the MMO and they say that it has like really good covers of all of the classic songs.
They do.
And I've heard a few of them, and they're like, yeah, like, I see it. I think my favorite soundtrack, other than, like, 10, like, if I had to pick from, like, the PlayStation ones, which is kind of, like, 7, 8, 9, it's really tough between 8 and 9. Like, really tough. Because I think the best part of 8 was the soundtrack. So I actually am going to go with 8. Because that had some really good, like, for the engine it was working with. It had like orchestral tracks. It had like really cool jazzy sounding like ambient tracks. Some very just like interesting choices, and it was always appropriate for the environment. And every time you went to a new area and heard a new song, you were excited for what it was going to be. 9 was just like very classic sounding.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the music in 9 was more like comfortable. I felt like it was very like definitely fantasy oriented and very I guess a lot of the times it was either classical or orchestral in style, or just like something very like low key.
Mm-hmm.
So those, it depends on the mood, I would say. But I think 8 would be like my number one choice across all of them, because like 10 had a lot of good ones, but I think 8 had the most that I enjoyed, if I remember right.
You know what's wild? Like 8 frustrated me with its interface, or its battle interface. But I agree. I like the music there.
Yeah, 8 is a game that is deserving of a remake, mostly because the original game itself was low key fucking trash. Like, it definitely would benefit from like, you know, what we've seen with like the Final Fantasy engine nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
and just revisiting the junction system and maybe just throwing it the fuck away, because like it was a pain in the ass
It
and
was.
it kind of sucked, and grinding magic is ass, and it was just not a fun experience, and I didn't like it. I don't think anyone liked it, and yeah, just throw it the fuck away. Use
Yeah.
you know, the remake engine, come up with something adjacent to junctioning that, you know, maybe you could junction skills, but like magic is something you just kind of use, and then just go from there.
Yeah. My favorite, I have, of course, like I'm a Final Fantasy VII person. Sorry, not sorry, but also I really loved 13's music. People don't like Final Fantasy 13, but if
I
it were
did not play it.
okay, here's the deal: Final Fantasy 13 is the easiest Final Fantasy you'll ever play in your life. Yet at the end, it gets hard. But also at the same time, it has phenomenal music. I love Lightning. I love her themes. I love every character themes. And it just felt like Final Fantasy fan fiction. Like, what if a child wrote their own Final Fantasy characters, but it was a girl and they were in love with that girl? But
Yeah.
that's how it was. But if it weren't for 13's battle system, the 7 remake wouldn't come to be as so polished as it is.
Yeah. I'm gonna just throw some random favorite tracks from Nobuo Uematsu in the chat while we're talking about this, just because there's a few from like other games he's done, or like kind of like less popular games. World of Final Fantasy, Yoko, I know I got you to play that.
Yeah, still
That one
playing it,
had
bro.
a very good soundtrack.
It sure
And
did.
I liked it because it revisits some old songs depending on the area you're in, and then like remakes them into like something a little bit more modern, or like takes like a completely different approach to the melody or something like that. And it's all really good, honestly. I like most of the music in that game, and I feel like that's just like an unsung constant in all. Well, maybe it is very well sung, but it's a constant in all of the Final Fantasy games. Like, any Final Fantasy game you pick up has a great soundtrack. It doesn't matter if it's like on the main, you know, numeric system, or if it's an offshoot game. Every single time, soundtrack's really good.
Yeah, I'm so quiet, guys, because I only played Final Fantasy X, but I do agree.
Yeah, we'll get off this. We'll get off this discussion. I'll just throw in a few examples of some other things. Nobuo Uematsu also worked on Lost Odyssey on the Xbox 360, which
Oh, yeah.
a lot of people are divided on.
The
But
game
I don't
that people never heard of.
I don't think anyone's divided on the soundtrack
Deep cut.
if they've played it. It's very, very good, and I'm going to try to share one or two from that as well.
Oh yeah,
That was a wild RPG. Go ahead.
Feel free to
I
post
enjoyed it.
some. Feel free to post some tracks in the Discord, and I'll put them in the description so our listeners can have a listen as well. Since we're talking about Resident Evil earlier, a lot of Resident Evil tracks are awesome, especially the save room tracks. Some of my favorites are the one from Zero, the one from Code Veronica, and I really love the merchant theme for the Resident Evil 4 remake. That's a good one. Yeah, they just really set the mood of, you know, you're just trying to escape from this horrible situation, and this is the only moment of like solace that you get in the entire game. It's great.
I like that. And the thing is, a lot of the game, I mean, we only mentioned Final Fantasy and Resident Evil, but Resident Evil in particular puts you in that mood of fear, especially with the music. I would say Silent Hill as well. Silent Hill, the music from Silent Hill puts you in a state of complete dread. Some of the tracks don't even have like a tune. It's just mashed up sounds, and it's like the embodiment of anxiety, like or the dun, 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 or the off key piano, like state of dread right there.
Of course. Let's see. I wrote a little list down. Probably some of my favorite video game music has come from the Tekken series. Like,
Yeah, right. I was like, when's it
Yeah,
happening?
fighting games always have some fun fucking music.
yo, those Tekken games, especially 3 in the first tag tournament, I could listen to them anytime, any place, especially at the gym or when I'm driving. Like, they always get you hyped up, man. Like, this sound, like, they were cooking when they make those soundtracks. Boy, like, you need a good soundtrack for a fighting game. A lot of fighting games have, like, really shitty ones.
Always
Not
like
gonna name
upbeat
names.
break beats and like jazzy kind of like funky melodies over the top and fun bass lines. It's all stuff that I like in my spare time. So it's stuff that just naturally appeals to me, even though I don't like fighting games.
Yeah, the Tekken franchise, Tekken Tag had a lot of electronica in it. Tekken 3 had more rock sounding sound. And Tekken 4 had this very atmospheric ambient motif going on with some of the stages. Like, you'd be fighting in like on a beach, and it's just it's like the most chill thing you've ever heard, but it works with the stage. Or you're on a rooftop, and it makes you feel isolated and alone, and it just works, man. And the character select screen for all of those entries, chef's kiss. They get you ready to fuck somebody up.
You're just in it for like, ooh, and the music gives you goosebumps, especially in Tekken, because you're like, dun, 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 dun,
I feel
dun,
like-
dun, wah, wah. Go ahead.
I feel like making a character select screen sound or like a song is a sacred thing in the fighting game like development community, because you're going to be hearing that song a lot if you play that game. Like all the fucking time. So you have to make it at least catchy. Like, it has to be catchy, or else people are going to get tired of it very quickly.
Yep. Speaking of fighting games, I love side-scrolling beat 'em ups. It's my favorite genre. I have the biggest appreciation and heart for them. And Streets of Rage, my favorite video game album of all time. Specifically Streets of Rage 2 and 4. Because 3, I guess the original composer for 3 left, and you could tell because the music is not nearly as good as 1 and 2. But oh god, I just love the club beats, but it's like electronic video game club beats, and I listen to Streets of Rage all the damn time.
Yeah, man, especially the new one. The new one got a lot of great music. I think it's was it made by T. Lopes, the guy who did like Sonic Mania?
Let me see.
think he
In
did
Mutant Ninja Records, that's what I'm. Hold on, let me look.
The Ninja Turtles games got some really good music as well.
Yeah.
One of my favorite pieces is from Turtles in Time, Neon Night Riders. Like, I love that song so much. It makes you feel like you're in the future and you're on a surfboard going 80 miles an hour through like a futuristic city. It is fantastic. It always gets me like hyped, like I'm going on an adventure.
Yup. Yes, it's Oliver T. Let's see. T. Lopes. Oliver something.
Totally.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, same thing with Turtles. I really love the new Shredder's Revenge game. There's a DLC coming out for it, but the music for that is awesome too. They even had like instead of the ninja rap, they made their own, and it was about Shredder. And I was like, yo, I'm getting goosebumps.
Yo, for real. The Scott Pilgrim game got some great pieces in there. A lot of 8-bit mixed with some rock and roll. I was listening to that in the car yesterday. That was fun. There's a lot of like 2D games that have like amazing soundtracks as well. Of course, the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise is known for their great music.
Yeah,
Even
I was gonna say something.
even if the game sucks balls, the soundtrack is gonna be on point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for like the really early games that like had like basically the most limited sound chip available. And the kinds of soundtracks that some of them did manage to pull off even despite that, like the Nintendo and Super Nintendo era. There was that one Donkey Kong game, like Donkey Kong Country, right? That has like a really good soundtrack to it despite the sound chip that they were working with. Like there's some very cool technical achievements that we've seen from like early like 2D era games.
Yeah, everyone uses the water level in the Donkey Kong.
Ooh, yeah.
They use it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in like YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country has. I didn't find that out till recently because I didn't really play those games. It has a banging soundtrack. Like they go
It
hard.
does.
They go hard for no reason at all.
Mhm, yep.
They're like, yo, we're gonna make this game and we're gonna have people like have the soundtrack live in their heads rent free. Like it's great. And Nintendo in general, they know how to make good music. You have the Metroid franchise,
Yeah.
lots of memorable, iconic soundtracks from that, especially like the earlier games. And then, of course, Super Mario Brothers. Mario has gone through so many like different, iterations over the years, and they always come with the music, whether it's like stuff from N64. The water theme always comes to mind every time I'm swimming in a pool, just pops in my head like that. And Super Mario Galaxy has these great like orchestra pieces, big band energy that that stays with you even when you're not playing the game. And what's great about the Super Mario movie is that they incorporated all these soundtracks from the different generations of Mario games, and they made up the score for that movie. That's why it slaps hard, man.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, I think like
oh.
tone selection is like such like an interesting art when it comes to video game soundtrack design, because like selecting the right song for any level or any map that you're creating or any situation is like so important. Like if you're going through a horror game and you have like you have the appropriate soundtrack versus something that like you'd put in like an action game when you're running through and like murdering your way through a level, you lose all of the horror because it puts you in a totally different space. But like if you have like some kind of like creepy ambient sounds, very like low energy, like no like percussion, or like just basically like very off key noises in sparse locations of the sound, and like just things that sound off in the distance, then all of a sudden it's very creepy.
Actually, I would like to bring up bad video games with great music.
Oh, okay.
So, have you guys ever heard of Hover?
Yes, I have.
So that game, I bought it because they were like, oh my gosh, it's going to be the next Jet Set Radio, this, that, and the third. That game sucks. It's like they gave up midway in the project, but the whole album is the same producer behind Jet Set Radio, same music producer. The music is amazing. Like, it's loading in now. I just want to get the name of the song. It's called Heaven. And
I'll post it.
Yeah. Hold on. It's called Heaven Up, Hover Revolt. And you want to like, oh man, I feel it. I'm feeling the I want to skate all the way up there, bro. Yes. And the game sucks. Another game with really good music, but the game sucks. Hold on. I had it up here. Come on. Load.
I'm sorry, guys.
Stop using dial-up.
I know. Someone's downloading something. Okay, definitely not Sonic the Hedgehog because we covered that. We would like
Live and learn.
living on the edge of tomorrow. It's an Xbox 360 game. I wouldn't say it sucks, but it doesn't exist anymore, and it's like Kakuto Chojin or something like that. Kakuto. I can't even read the name. Pan Pizza covered it, and it has really good like club beats as well. I'm gonna post that in here. Yeah. Kakuto Chojin. That's what the frickle frack it's called, and it's one of those Xbox One, like the original Xbox games, that has phenomenal music. I don't know if this game even got any good reviews, but heck, it's worth listening to. It's like if you ever get stuck on something, just listen to the music from a franchise you love. You can't lose.
Yeah, like when I'm playing Spider-Man Miles Morales, I like when you pause the game, the music is still playing, and it has like this really funky hip hop beat, which is great. It's good stuff.
I like when games take an approach to the sound design for the music that's like experimental or just like not traditional. I think indie games are pretty good at doing that as well.
Yeah.
Like Transistor. If you've ever played Transistor, I think that's an excellent example of how like the game will switch modes. It'll give you the opportunity to like kind of pause the battle and do like sped up like action using like your robot abilities or whatever. And the song would change when you did that. There would become like a filtered version of it, or like slow down, or like a whole bunch of effects would be applied to it, and the melody would kind of be like modified, but it would still be the same. Like the rhythm would change a little bit. The whole song would change, but it would still be the same song playing, and it would keep time perfectly with the other song.
Yeah.
And so you'd like leave the menu and it would just transition right back into the other version of the song. And I thought that was so much fun, especially like getting to a new like part of the game and then like discovering like when you did that pause thing, like what was it going to sound like this time? And sometimes it would sound better than the song when it's like playing out, or like you would time it so that the song would like transition perfectly. And it was just a fun little element that I think added a quality of life to the game. It was like just a neat little gimmick that I really appreciated.
I agree. I love that game. I'm glad you mentioned it because the track not only goes with the beat of the game, but enhances the plot points.
Yes. Because they're all about the character. They're all from the character.
Which made me appreciate it. Yeah.
You know what song goes hard for absolutely no reason at all? The fucking music when you pause Goldeneye.
Classic.
So hard. That whole soundtrack is like god tier, but the pause music is like, damn. Like, okay. You can like bounce to that when you're in the car, you know, got the top down, and you just look at the car next to you and you give the passenger just a nod, and they know. They just know.
Y'all are hilarious. It's real. I'd like to mention Undertale and Deltarune with like some of the most iconic music in our modern day age. Like Big Shot and Megalovania. Megalovania is a song that has poisoned the mind of Gen Z. Not really poisoned, I'm just joking. But like I teach art, right? And I almost always put video game music because it's 100%, like almost like a majority of it's clean. And every request, every student will always ask for Megalovania. Have you heard of it?
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's from Undertale.
Yes. So, Frisky, I'm going to prescribe this to you. It's a boss battle fight. That's why it is such a good...
It's a good song.
Yeah. Any boss battle fights, man. Yeah.
I really appreciated all of the songs in the boss battles for Undertale, especially like the final boss battles. the neutral fight has a lot of really cool like aim and breaks and like interesting little fucking like dial points that I enjoyed so much. They're
Mhm.
just very like heavy like jungle or like warehouse like kind of break beats like rhythms that I don't know, you just don't really hear in like a lot of indie games.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, any rhythm-based game, they have to have a good soundtrack. It's kind of a requirement because the music is entangled with the gameplay. So, you know, oh, there's this like a one from the DS, like what's it called? Rival Beat Agents.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh
remember
man,
that?
I remember that game. Rest in peace.
Yeah, there's the one with the drum, the little Taku Taku game.
Taiko drum.
Yeah, uh, Frequency and Amplitude. They got some good stuff on
Hmm.
there. I mean, they have to.
I'm gonna bust out some more Hatsune Miku. Sorry, not sorry. I love Hatsune Miku, and I think she's perfect for game franchises. And Parappa the Rapper, he's on my desk, and Jam-a-Lammy.
Rapper the Rapper was a fun little thing when I was younger. It's such a fun little concept for a game.
Oh yeah.
Except just like trying to do that on a PlayStation controller was not fun in
Well,
practice.
I agree. You could thank Miku fans for coming up with a smaller PlayStation rhythm controller. Like, it's just the buttons laid out in a line.
Nice. You sent me the Wii Shop music.
Because it's so good.
It's like a SNES remix of the Wii Shop music. A lot of people are nostalgic for like the Wii music in general, just like the Mi Plaza and just all those like weird like
Yeah,
background
again,
music.
you need to pick good songs for things that you're going to be seeing a lot, things that are just going to be on your TV a lot and for a while. You need like a good little thing that's going to loop perfectly and not piss people off when it does.
Sure. Yep.
Body.
I has Have you ever had like a track that would just was grating on your mind and like you had to block it out years later like no, I can't play this. No.
It's a
Tell
good
me.
question. It's a very good question. I don't know because if I probably blocked it from my mind, it's gone for a reason.
Um, I'm trying to find one of those right now, but I can't remember the name of it. But it's from this old PlayStation JRPG called Legend of Legaia, and there's just this one stupid little loop that just gets stuck in my mind all the time. Actually, I'll find another example before I try to find that one.
Yeah.
One of you go first.
I got in my notes I got F-Zero, especially the 3D F-Zeros. They got some bitchin' rock and
Oh,
roll soundtracks and mixed with some like techno and break beats.
I
The stuff.
found
You found it?
I found a perfect example, not from that game, but from Marvel vs. Capcom 2, that I think everyone has gotten stuck in their head at some point. The character
Yo.
select screen for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is one of the
And
most contagious earworms in fighting game history.
gonna take you for a ride.
I had that in my notes too, so you read my mind.
Yeah, because it's contagious.
It is.
No,
It really is.
That whole soundtrack is iconic just because I played it so much when I was a kid. Like all the music, it doesn't sound like a fighting game soundtrack. It sounds like you're going on like a mystic voyage most of the time, or
Then there's
you're at a jazz party in like New Orleans. It's so cool.
I found that song from the JRPG. It's another similar fun little just like repetitive song that doesn't feel repetitive. Well, it's definitely repetitive, but it's fun.
For a ride.
It's fun. It's a fun song. And that's a song that will occasionally just enter my mind for no apparent reason whatsoever, unprompted,
Sophie
and not
with the
leave for a while.
Let me hear this. I like disco.
Mine is Sonic R, because that's not a good game, but I love the tracks from it. Living in the City.
Yes.
This is
You know you have to survive. You gotta keep the beat alive.
wow. This music is awesome, yo. I'm listening
Wait,
to the
what you
disco.
got?
Yeah, it's good, right? It's
so
infectious.
good.
It stays with you.
Which one you picking? Marvel vs. Capcom 2?
No,
Soul Fever Disco from Legend of Legaia.
Oh yeah.
It's an infectious song.
Let me tell you. Oh, let me show you this track from like a Tetris game.
Oh,
that goes
yes.
hard. This Tetris theme is so good, and people in the comments are like, "Oh, this sounds like the Weather Channel."
Yo, remember when that Weather Channel hit really hard that one year?
They be going hard. Yo, listen to that, and you're just like, "This is from a Tetris game," and they were like, "Yo, we're just gonna make a fire like jazzy soundtrack, whatever."
Yo, but like if we're gonna mention Tetris, we have to mention the Tetris theme, which is like one of the most infectious like video game
Earwormy.
soundtracks ever. Like that's a song that doesn't leave your mind when you hear it.
That's probably
And has been used in hundreds and hundreds of different ways.
I know. Especially like the rock guitar version, the remixed version, you know.
Yeah, that's probably my answer to the earworm question. It's like, yeah, that Tetris dream can get really annoying because at the time it was like the only music on the cartridge.
Yeah, the whole game. And then they had like the Sky version, they had hip hop version, they have the remixed 8-bit 40K, you know,
For kids.
for kids.
Here's a classic right here.
Ooh,
A
That hurts
Tetris
my
remix
eyes.
that
That hurts my
that
eyes.
I love to bring up.
Let's play some Tetris, motherfucker.
Yes, I remember you just sent me that or something. I just distinctly remember hearing this one.
It's one that has been lost with time, but found
think-
again.
I think you played this when we were all hanging out that one time.
So good. Oh, I got like new music to like put on my phone. I love it.
Ooh,
It's been a
ooh, I
productive
have. This is a good song. I have. Kaze got me into this game, and I'm not. It's like I love it. Shout out to Kaze for getting me into. It's got like fashion music. Where is it? It was right. Hold on. I have my list right here. Sorry, I'm scrolling down.
I heard this Megalomania.
Yeah, you heard Megalomania. Yeah, I was gonna say. It's like you've heard Megalomania. It is called. Dang it! Here it is. Ordinary Days by Lethal League. Lethal League is such a fun modern day ping pong game. Everything fashion music, but with ping pong, this is it. That's how I think about it. Such-
I'd like to shout out Jeremy Soule to slow things down a little bit. His soundtracks on like Skyrim, for example, legendary soundtracks, and just not the like in your face like kind of like loud stylings that or like rhythmic stylings that we've been kind of talking about, but more like just very ambient and orchestral and often very like cinematic sounding.
I love that. Sometimes,
I'll get some examples in the chat momentarily.
yeah.
I'm gonna start posting some of the stuff I like in the chat. This is a Scott Pilgrim one. Another franchise that has really good music is Super Smash Brothers, which is kind of a cheat because they have like music from like all Nintendo properties in there. But just the main themes of those games are iconic. Like you hear the theme, you know which Smash Brothers it came from. That's what I love about that. So good. So good. Game!
Fred coming to your house and kick you, dude. Do, 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 do. Pop it like it's hard. Pop it like it's hard. Do, 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 do. You know, it's just like all of it. Oh, of course, Skyrim. I haven't played Halo much, but Halo has great tracks.
Ooh.
Animal Cross.
I
Go
can't-
ahead.
I can't picture you playing a Halo game. That's just does not compute. in
I
my
used
head.
to play. I know, right?
It
Because
doesn't
I would
compute.
suck at it. I would play with my brother, and everybody in the game online like, "Who's this? Who's throwing the car over?" It would be me. I'm probably okay with it now. Maybe I don't know. Oh, I was going to also bring up Toe Jam and Earl. Toe Jam and Earl has some great hip hop beats, man.
It's deep cut. Deep cut.
Yeah,
Very
Deep cut.
And I'm gonna post this. It's called Bugs Looney Tunes B-Ball, one of the best basketball games next to NBA Jam on the NES, Super NES. And it was like very hip hop, like back when Bugs Bunny and them used to dress like Kid and Play.
Yeah. I love those
just-
Looney Tune t-shirts where they're all gangsta.
Right. I'm just gonna post this here. It's like a cute ringtone thing, but let's be real. We're in it for the Tekken.
Yeah. Like I just posted like 2 things from Tekken, but I could post the whole soundtrack easily. Like that's
Yeah.
it's the soundtrack that keeps on giving. And it sounds like
Yeah.
the new Tekken has some dope music coming down the pipeline.
All right. Anything else?
Well, I was saving this one for last. The soundtrack to the Jet Set Radio games. And I'm saving it for last because that's what I want to talk about on the next episode since Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is finally coming out. So it's a good time to reflect on the Jet Set Radio games that inspired it. And
Let's go.
the main composer for the Jet Set Radio games is Hideki Naganuma. He did the Hover soundtrack as well, or at least a few songs from it. He did some songs for Bomb Rush. So check out his work. He'd be on Twitter. He'd be on YouTube. And I'll just post one of my favorite Jet Set Radio songs. It's called The Concept of Love. Understand. I remember booting up the game for the first time and just that's the first thing you hear. And I was like, I'm in for a wild ride.
Thank you for it. Sorry.
Yep, it's already begun.
You set yourself up there.
Okay. Today's Dimensional Diary, let's keep it music themed. I want to know what was the first CD you guys have ever gotten? First CD, music CD.
That's hard.
I think it was Complicated by Avril Lavigne.
Word?
Yep,
The album?
unironically.
The
Yes.
album or the single?
The album.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't
Yes.
know you were Avril Head.
Listen, I went through phases in my life. I was
Oh.
young. Avril was cool.
She's hot.
Yeah.
She still looks good. Like, she hasn't aged a day.
Respect.
Respectfully.
Mad respect.
Respect.
That
I'm
is
gonna link
wild.
one more song from an MMO I gave too much of my life to, and it's a great fucking song, and I'm gonna leave it at that from the subject of great songs in video game soundtracks. And that is probably one of my favorites to go back to when I want just a nice rush of nostalgia. And it's a good song regardless.
Oh my gosh.
Which one is this? EverQuest, the movie.
I'm here for you, Pesky. This is why we're friends.
Mhm.
So you're freaking cool. I'm just very easy. Streets of Rage, just most of the tracks from that will kept me going.
Yeah. What was your
What
first
was
CD?
yours? Oh, you're asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you.
First
So-
CD.
This is tough because I remember getting 2. And I don't know if it was like a Christmas thing. So I remember getting the Swan Princess and Oliver and Company.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and I was little. I was like 7. I got my first CD Walkman. 7 or 8, and I really loved Oliver and Company more than the Swan Princess. It's like Oliver and Company has some great music. And then the Swan Princess, after listening to the album as an adult, I was like, sign of the times. I was a child.
Yeah. My first CD was from the Space Jam movie. It was the Seal song "Fly Like an Eagle" because I just really, really love that song. To this day, it's like probably my favorite song ever, and it just brings back so many memories from that time period. It's beautiful, you know.
My car, actually. Somebody sold me this album for $4.
It's a timeless song. All right. Guess what, guys? I actually remembered a song that I like from Final Fantasy.
Oh,
I'm ready.
send it.
It's from Final Fantasy 14. And the way I heard it is because Dream would play it at my house. And I'm like, what is this song? This song, I think, is really nice. Like, super chill, melodic. What do you guys think? Comment
Me here.
below. Let me know. You guys listening?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty chill.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the song when you play when you're like flying over the map.
Very classic.
Good stuff. Anywho, thank you guys for coming to take the time out of your very busy schedules to talk video game music, and thank you all for listening. We're at about 53 subscribers. We're getting up there. We're trying to get that 100 by 100. Let's get it done.
Let's get it done.
Let's get it done.
Gotta talk to the algae rhythm.
Algae Rhythm. Oh no, just reminded me of Space Jam 2.
I sure did.
I hate you.
You're welcome.
Hate you. We just lost a subscriber. Thanks.
Oh my gosh. You're funny.
All right. Thanks for Pesky for coming on, doing the guest spot, doing the Resident Evil review. Thank you. You have anything to plug?
Nothing. Nothing to plug.
That's good. Keep it tight. What about you, Jen? What you been up to? Actually, I know what you've been up to. Don't worry.
I've been healing, but I do have a really fun video on the way. I think by August I'll have My Life as a Secret Furry done. It's going to be partially animated, partially filmed. My raw takes, I might ask you to record a segment for me, either one of you. So just be prepared.
Oh yeah, I'm always prepared. Oh, I've been doing stuff on YouTube too. Yeah, I do things now. I've been making vlogs about my furry life. And if you want to check those out, they're on my main channel, which is the Frisky one with an A, not an E in the. I just talked about my first time at Anthrocon, and it's fun because I usually go to a place in the city where I like to hang out at. So it gives me an excuse to get out the house and enjoy the sun. And it's been really liberating to talk about these experiences in full detail for the very first time. And yeah, check it out if you want to get to know my backstory, a little bit about me. Next episode, I'll be talking about the time I met Pesky. So that's going to be a great time. Did he leave?
That was a long walk.
Yeah. We walked 3 miles and we pointed out at all the 99-cent stores. And we're like, if you take a shot every time you see a 99-cent store, you will die.
Mm-hmm. There's at least 20.
Yeah, great memories. All right, guys. I hope you're having a great summer. Be safe out there. Put some sunscreen. And remember, don't be a fool. Wrap your tool. And check out Barbie or Oppenheimer or both. I'm going to dress up. Are you guys dressing up?
I don't wear pink because I'm a dog.
Yeah. She's a Shiba Inu from another dimension.
Yes.
In case y'all forgot the lore behind what we're doing.
I love it.
All right, y'all. Peace out.
Peace.
Yoko and Pesky Time and Chivalry. Yoko and Pesky Time and Chivalry.